Did you know that you can buy a card like this one and instantly sell it for 25 to 100% gain? As you know, Gods tokens are now accepted on the IMX market to purchase cards. And that leaves us in a situation where people are paid Gods tokens in their Blessings of Gods event, so they have these tokens building up in their IMX account, but they don't have enough to withdraw them and pay the gas fees and then convert it to Ethereum and bring it back in. So you have the situation now where you have cards selling for sometimes half the price in Ethereum as they do for in Gods tokens. So that gives you the opportunity to purchase cards in Ethereum, sell them for Gods tokens instantly, and now you've made anywhere from 25% to 100% profit just for making that arbitrage. I'm going to show you in this video how much I've been making doing this over the past day and why doing this actually supports the Gods token and helps boost the economy for Gods Unchained. So stay tuned in this video. I'll show you all my results, all the cards that I bought, sold, and how you can do it too, whether you have a small account and can't pay gas fees, or you have a large account and those don't really matter. So I'm going to go back in time to when I start this video, and I'm going to start walking you step by step as I actually am making these purchases, how much they cost me, and then you'll see the results that I get over the next 16 hours from when I started the video till now. Alright, so first I'm going to run you through how I find the cards that are worth flipping, or arbitraging, I guess. So what I'm going to be doing is going into the Geodex card rankings and looking for the ones with the most matches. And I just use rare, epic, legendary, mythic. And I also removed core cards, actually. I do some core legendaries, but for the rares and the mythics, I usually just skip those. And the reason that I look for I sort it by matches is that these ones are probably going to have the most liquidity on IMX. So that means you're going to be able to get in and out of your trades faster, or your arbitrages, I guess, because the thing is with arbitraging is you want to be as quick as possible so there's no slippage in price. And also it's just the faster you can flip it, the more money you can make, because now your funds aren't tied up anymore. I basically go through this list, I add it to my Excel sheet over here, and then what we do is go get the prices for each of them in Ethereum, get the prices for them in Gods, and then I convert it to USD, add it to the sheets, and then put the price difference. So that the percentage here is the price difference, as in this is how much more you would spend to purchase it in Gods versus Ethereum tokens. All right, so first I'm going to run you through a paper example, and then I'm going to take you through the real thing afterwards. So for the paper example, let's say we start with our ETH, which we deposited into our IMX account. So then we go with our ETH and we buy Guild Enforcers here, and their ETH to USD value is $1.46. So now we buy one, and then we're going to have that card and we're going to sell it for Gods tokens. And when this sells for Gods tokens, we'll have $2.18 worth of Gods tokens, or a 49% gain on our USD value. Then to get it back into ETH so we can make another swap, there's going to be two ways to do it. So the first way to do it is to bring it off of IMX to an exchange and swap those Gods tokens for ETH, and then bring the ETH back to IMX. That is okay if you have a huge amount of Gods tokens and ETH, so that you're not paying a huge percentage of gas fees over your total value. But if you have a small amount, then it's not really going to be worth it to pay the gas fees to take it off the exchange, swap it, and bring it back on. So in that case, if you look at the ones highlighted in orange, for example, that's how you can get your money back from Gods to ETH for a lower price than you made. So basically, in our case, we made 49% gain with the Guild Enforcer, but now we have Gods tokens, which you can't flip again. So we can go and look at something like this card right here. So basically it sells for, in USD value, the Gods tokens version sells for $40. So we can go and buy one of those with our Gods tokens for $40 of USD value. And then we can then take that card and sell it for Ethereum for $38.71. So now we have $38.71 worth of Ethereum. It cost us 4.5% for that transaction to get it out of Gods into Ethereum through this card. But now we have Ethereum to go make another flip, because that only costs us 4.5%. But then we can take that Ethereum and make a flip on something like this, well, a spiny porcupine, or the another round, or let's say defend the ramparts, and we can be making another 86% gain. Look at this Moonlight Charms. You can buy it for 89 cents worth of ETH, sell it for $1.95 worth of Gods tokens, and that's 119% gain. Some of these bigger ones, which like the Grand Hall basically, is $14.79 in ETH, and you can sell it for $22.22 of Gods, or 50% gain. All right, so this sounds good in theory. All right, we've run through an example. I think now we should go into the account and start showing how it actually works, if it works. If we're going to maybe affect the market too much, hopefully we affect the market, because my goal with this is to make the cost of Gods and ETH be the same if you're going to purchase a card, because I think that when somebody gets paid out in their Blessings of Gods event tokens, they should be able to go to the marketplace, buy a card with Gods tokens, and pay the same that they would have paid with ETH. So if we do this right and we actually get these arbitrages a lot, then we're going to make the price of the ETH value and the Gods value be really close, and I think that's going to be really good for the economy of the game, and we're going to make some money in the process. At this point, it's massive percentage gains. Hopefully these percentage gains go lower so that, the price is more the same. But for now, we can at least enjoy making a lot of money in the meantime. All right, so let's do it for real now. I'm just going to start buying cards, and then I'm going to mark them down on this Excel sheet, and then we're going to see what our profits are. So let's start with something like another round, because I think that looks like a pretty good gain. 120%. No, another round is 100.89%. That's huge. All right, so we got another round. Let's just duplicate this real quick so we can keep an eye on the Gods price as well, and then we just instantly list it back for sale. So basically the idea is we buy for the lowest price and we sell for the lowest price. We actually just undercut it a little bit, just because we want to get in and out of there real fast. We're not waiting for the best possible price. We just want to get in and out of there fast. And this is gonna lower the price of the Gods versions of the cards over time, which is basically what the arbitrage does, which is a good thing for the game, because we basically want those Gods price to be down to what the Ethereum price is, 0.3899. And there we go. All right, let's do another one. All right, so now you can see we bought up all of the another rounds for the one that ends in a 6 here for the ETH. So basically we effectively raised the price of these, because now the lowest one you can buy is 0.000298, whereas it used to be 0.000296. So we raised the price of the one on ETH, and then basically what we're going to do now is 38999 is sell them now for a little bit lower than the current Gods ones. All right, so we have all of our another rounds listed for sale for 0.3899 Gods tokens. Now we're just going to wait for these to sell. And in the meantime, I'm going to try it with something like a little bit larger. So these had over 100% difference in price. So it's a huge gain, but they're only dealing with a couple dollars at a time here. So, with this arbitrage, we're only set to make, $6. Whereas, so let's go and set it to something like maybe a larger card, let's say the Grand Hall here, this one. So basically this is $14, but it sells for $22, so it has a 50% gain instead of 100, but it's still a $7 gain. So, and it's just the same amount of clicks as selling one of these for 100% gain. All right, so there it is. Now we're gonna go check the price in Gods tokens. So it looks like the lowest priced one for the Grand Hall is way lower than the rest of the next ones up. So I think that might be one of those cards that doesn't actually sell. If we had some Gods tokens, we could just test it, but I only have one Gods token or something on here, so we actually can't even test it right now. But once we start getting more Gods tokens in, then I would suggest testing these to make sure that these aren't just fake listings or ones that don't actually work. So for now, we're just going to go list it for just under 4.3 tokens. All right, so Grand Hall has been listed for 4.299. All right, so if you look at the transactions, we managed to sell one of the another rounds while we were doing the grand haul. So that's already our first dollar of profit. Here we go. Let's go make some more. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to get back to you after I've, done some more tests, see how good it works in the next day or two. And then I'm going to compile all of the data and show you what the results were. All right, so I'll see you in a day or two. It's the next morning. Merry Christmas. It's the 25th. Let's go through the results. So as you see here, we only have 3 cards left, which means everything else sold for a total of 35 card arbitrages. And basically what we did here, I just laid out every card that was bought and sold, the buy price in ETH, the sell price in Gods, the dollar value of each of the current coins at right now's value, and basically the price of ETH and Gods right now. So basically Gods price, the Gods token did go down in value a little bit, but we still made an overall net gain with the entire thing. So we made 21.77% ROI just over the night from last night when I set this up till now. Total invested was $895 in these cards. Profit was $195 overnight. So some of the big gainers, Nefaro, Champion of Death, made 31 bucks off of that swap. But that one took a while to sell. We did another rounds. We sold a bunch of those for about 90 cents, give or take, per swap. I'd noticed the Marsh Walkers, which we sold for about 94 cents profit each. These ones are pretty much insta sells. We just bought, sold, they just flipped instantly pretty much. We sold a bunch of these Freya Spears for about $7 60 cents gain profit on that. And those ones basically didn't sell all night, and then in the morning they just all sold at once. It's probably to one person that's looking to flip them as well or something. And then basically, we had a bunch of Fruit Bears, which we made 12 bucks a piece on. So these are some big gains. I mean, 200 bucks, we only invested $895. You can imagine that this ROI for one day is absolutely insane. And these are pretty safe because, if you don't sell it for your Gods, then you can always just go and sell it for the Ethereum that you bought it for anyways. All right, so basically now you have the option, or it depends on what you want to do. So you can either just, hold your Gods tokens. You made 195 bucks profit. Now you can just keep holding them. If you want to flip it again, so now you got to get this dollar value back into Ethereum because now all these tokens are Gods tokens. So like I said before, we can either have the option to go flip something like the Hydra, and that would be basically we could buy in at this price, 40 bucks, sell at 38.70, and that would be a loss of $4 or 4.5%. So basically we could get back into Ethereum without any gas fees, just the price of losing it in the opposite direction. And basically that would take off 5% of our ROI back down to 16%, but then we could do it again and get another 21% ROI. The other option is if you have a little bit more than this, because this is now $1,100 worth of Ethereum. I think maybe if you're sitting more around the $2,500 to $3,000 worth, then you could just take that whole profit or all the Gods tokens out, bring it to KuCoin, swap it into Ethereum, bring it back in, and now you have Ethereum again to play around with. And I think that would be less than the 4.5% overall if you have a bigger amount going in and out. And it would also be quicker because then you don't have to wait for people to buy the cards. But if you just have a small amount like I do here, then you can just decide to flip it back through cheaper cards like this, and then go back for the bigger gainers like the Moonlight Charm, the Another Round, Guild Enforcer, basically all these ones that we just flipped for. All right, so I'm going to keep doing this, flipping back and forth between ETH and Gods, and bringing those Ethereum card prices up and those Gods cards prices down so that they meet in the middle. It's a great opportunity to make a little bit of cash while at the same time helping the Gods token economy. So it's a win-win for everybody, and I hope that you guys can get out there and do it as well. If you basically are a little bit worried for some reason, whether you can't sell the arbitrage or something, then just do it with cards that you wanted to buy anyways. So if the arbitrage doesn't go through for some reason, then you can just hold on to your cards. But for me, I'm going to go look for these big gainers, these big ones that have the most difference, and I'm just going to start working the market a bit. All right, so 2 more cards sold while I was filming the outro for the video, and that brings our total to $209. So we broke that $200 mark, and it's only been about 14 hours since I started this. So that's pretty damn good considering we only spent $1,000, just over $1,000 bucks. That's like full-time income for somebody if you can actually make that happen daily. All right, so I hope you liked the video. Let me know what your results are and if you're going to give it a shot. I guess I would share this chart with you, but by the time I share it, you know, all these prices are going to be different anyways. Ethereum's changing, God's prices change, the prices of the cards fluctuate so much. There's a link in the description for my new Discord channel if you want to share tips or just hang out and talk with me or with other people that are interested in Gods Unchained and arbitrages and building budget decks and whatnot. Then come join the channel because we'd be happy to have more people in there. So that's it for this video. I'm going to be seeing you in the next one.